Hello everyone! Welcome back to Intoxicated Intellect. Well, I'm Justin, by the way. I also have Brady, Ben, and Jake with me.
There you go. In the directions. I'll never get it right.
Yeah. First off, if this is your first time watching us, welcome. If it's your second time, please like.
Welcome back.
Please like and welcome back. I mean, why not throw a like on the video? And if it's your third time, I just ask that you throw us a sub. We make new videos. We release them every Monday and Thursday. Please stick around. We would love to have you with us. Please comment, build our community. We would love to have you in here.
Yeah, guys, 3 times the pattern. At that point, sub up.
Yeah. Just why not? Why not stick around for more?
Minorly entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, we try.
Maybe, hopefully.
We try.
We said minorly.
Yeah, and today we are here for the second part of the Warlock subclass tier list video. So let's get into it. Jake has us for the first one. Jake, what do you got?
Well, Justin, have you ever wanted to just be evil?
Sometimes.
Like, just evil. Like, that's all
Occasionally.
it is. You're just evil. You're going to want to be a Fiend Warlock. With this class, you get your expanded spell list. First level, you get Burning Hands and Command. Second level, you get Blindness and Deafness and Scorching Ray. Third level, you get good old Fireball and Stinking Cloud.
Stinking Cloud, my trademark.
Gotta love it.
For real, though.
Oh, yeah. At fourth level, you get Fire Shield, and Wall of Fire. At fifth level, you get Flame Strike and Hallow.
Hallow's a weird one to have in there, but I like that it's there.
If you want to have a base of operations.
Make, like, hallowed ground, that people can't, like, auger into and all of that kind of stuff.
So you're spreading your salt around the fire so the demons can't come in. Or they can, depending on, how you roll with this class. Starting at first level, you get the Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, gain temporary HP equal to your Charisma plus your Warlock. That's pretty dope.
HP is always nice, yeah.
Make sure you
HP
get
for
the
killing
kill.
stuff.
Make sure you get the kill.
Make sure
you have to kill.
At 6th level, you get the Dark One's Own Luck. When you get this, you can call on your patron to alter fate in your favor. When you make an ability check or a saving throw, you can use this feature to add a D10 to your roll. You can do so after seeing the initial roll, but before any of the roll's effects occur. And once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or a long rest.
Okay.
So
This is like your patron giving you a decently leveled product inspiration.
You get kind of a buff.
This is a, hey, don't fail this fucker.
You just call to Asmodeus and be like, yo, help a brother out. At 10th level, you get Fiendish Resilience, which is you can choose one damage type when you finish a short or long rest. You gain resistance to that damage type until you choose a different one with this feature. Damage from magical weapons or silver weapons ignores this resistance.
That can be powered.
I'm glad that it tracks with the rest of the Warlock stuff for short or long rests. That you can switch it around. If you find yourself in a situation, you just got to take an hour. You got to change from poison to fire.
Fire's not doing it anymore. Let's get back. Yeah.
Do you often find yourself teleporting between the South Pole and a volcano? Well, if you do, this is your answer.
That's a hell of a change.
Might be it. What do we top out with, Jake?
Well, at 14th level, you get to Hurl through Hell. When you hit a creature with an attack, you can use this feature to instantly transport the target. It really does. When you hit a creature with this feature, you can use this feature to instantly transport the target through the lower planes. The creature disappears and hurls through a nightmare landscape. At the end of your next turn, the target returns to the space it previously occupied or the nearest unoccupied space. If the target is not a fiend, it takes 10d10 psychic damage as it reels from the horrific experience. But you can only use this once per long rest.
For
30 minutes!
Here's the thing. There's no save to that. It just happens.
You can send a creature through Dante's hell.
For 48 hours today!
And they come out taking 10d10 psychic damage at
which is a lot.
The next round, at the end of your next turn.
The Abyss in Nine Hells is not any place you want to spend any amount of time in. And that's just
unless you want to be part of the Blood Wars.
This says the lower plane. The Abyss and the Nine Hells are just 2 of like 6 or 7 lower planes. It's bad down there.
Yeah,
there's a prison, there's hell, there's this whirling chaos of madness and hatred. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Justin, why don't you start?
Yeah, let me roll into that. This is really cool. I really love this. This is what the Warlock should be all about, right? But there's something about it. It's just not there. I think it might be a player's handbook thing like we've seen before. There's a few things that could be better. I love all the fire spells. I love the expanded spell list. Command's great. Blindness, deafness. You can just alter a little bit of the terrain. Temporary hit points, especially at first level. I think this would be good for a multi-class because of that Dark One's Blessing. That's what I think this is. I think this is going to shine in that aspect. It's right online. You only have to take one level to do it. That's the beauty of the Warlock multi-class. So much stuff comes online right away because you pledge yourself to some Dark Lord. And if Asmodeus or Demogorgon is the one for you, this is the play.
And if you're already playing another charisma-based character, yes.
It's not bad. It's really not bad. I like the ability to change resistances with Fiendish Resilience. I like the Dark One's own look as a way to get bardic inspiration outside of it. Boy, it's fun, but there's something here that's just not quite doing it for me. I think this is like a low A. I still think it's really good, and the numbers are all there. But something between you and your party in the wrong campaign, if you find yourself pledging yourself to some Dark Lord and you find yourself in a chaotic neutral or even chaotic good campaign or any kind of good campaign, I think you're going to have some problems socially with the rest of your party. And the things you might want to do if you play your character to this alignment. This is kind of alignment dependent, I would almost
say. It does say in the description that you can be fighting against your patron.
So you were there.
It does offer that kind of out.
I still think there's going to be a social aspect of convincing the people in your party and the friends you're playing with in character to convince them that you're batting for the other team now.
You don't have to tell them.
They may start wondering why you can blast things.
I
every
wouldn't
single
say
turn.
that.
Don't ask questions. Shut up.
Oh my god, how did you let such a nasty ass fart and kill them with it? I love this one. There's just, and it's probably me. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. There's some about it's just not doing it for me. I'm gonna go low A, like
Okay.
maybe low A B. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I will tell
Ben?
you why you're wrong.
Ben? Tell me why I'm wrong.
Ben's coming in hot.
I'm sure he's eager, chomping at the bit.
I think you are giving this a little too much. I would honestly put this closer to the C category. For multiple reasons. I think you are right in that the early game multi-class capability of it is nice, as far as dipping into Warlock for 1 to 3 levels for your invocations and stuff like that is nice. Dark One's Blessing is really good for if you have a very high burst-style character that you're going to get a lot of the final killing blows on, like Sneak Attack, Smite, anything that packs a big chunk of health out that you might get a kill on. Dark One's Blessing's nice for that. The biggest detriment of this, well, the two biggest detriments, is none of the features build on one another. They all add different things, but it kind of feels a little, jack of all trades, master of none type of deal.
Well, they
In
try and
addition to
add to
that-
the main class, but they don't necessarily do it in the
No,
most effective way.
Yeah.
Ben, you nailed everything I was going to say. It just feels like a hodgepodge.
In
Yeah.
addition to
Chaos.
that, the spells you get are fire damage. The most commonly resisted kind of damage in D&D is fire.
I would rather
So-
have necrotic for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
without
like-
cold or poison or just more options.
If you're
Burning
pulling
Hand,
from the
Scorching Ray, Fireball, Fire Shield, Wall Fire, Flame Strike. Every single time you get additional spells, one of them is fire-based.
But fire is fun.
Here's the thing:
Fire
for
is
all
fun,
the lower
Which
planes,
is why a lot of things resist it.
all of the lower planes are part of what was considered the old negative energy plane. There is a positive and negative energy, which is why there is radiant and necrotic damage. If you're casting someone through all of the lower planes, the damage that this takes should be necrotic, not
I mean,
fire. I would like to see
it takes psychic on the Hurl Through Hell, but regardless, just.
But I
in
would like
general-
to see
yeah.
I would like to see necrotic in here somewhere because it is the negative energy realm, the entire lower planes. At least what this is based off of, because this is Player's Handbook. Like they were working off of all of the stuff from old. They should have really taken that, I think. I'm absolutely willing to drop it. This is
So I put this as a C, just
C?
because it is very easily resisted in a lot of cases.
I gotta go C. It's just not there. It feels too forced. Nothing makes sense together.
Hodgepodge is a good word
Yeah.
for it. Hodgepodge. And I think, Brady, don't you have the Genie?
I do, but where are we putting this overall?
Oh, I
think
think it's
C is where we landed because I know
Alright.
Justin said he was switching. Because I just don't think it's.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's a cool idea. It's got some cool
Look,
flavor.
I like
but
it. The
doesn't
numbers
stack.
are there earlier, and there is something to be said about the multi-class ability, but it really just drops off. Let's roll into the next one. Genie?
Alright, yes. And this one comes to us from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. So there are 4 different kinds of genies you can choose from for this subclass. They are known as the Tao for Earth, the Genie for Air, Ifriti for Fire, and Marid for Water. I'm probably mispronouncing a couple of those, but we're just
No,
gonna
you hit it all about on the head. Yeah.
You actually nailed it. I would say Ginny instead of
I
Genie,
would say
but
Ginny. Yeah.
no, you nailed it. Elemental Planes.
At first level, you gain access to an expanded spell list. And there's a spell at every level that you get that every single subclass gets, and then depending on your elemental spirit, you gain a different spell. So every type of genie gets Detect Evil and Good, Phantasmal Force, Create Food and Water, Phantasmal Killer, Creation, and Wish.
That fits for the.
Those are fun.
Wow.
Especially the
Yeah.
Phantasmal ones. Create Food and Water is a little bit of a drop off, but in a survival campaign,
It's useful in the right spots. Yeah.
And then if you choose the Tao, you get Sanctuary at first, Spike Growth at second, Meld into Stone at third, Stone Shape at fourth, and Wall of Stone at fifth.
Earth and Nature.
If you go with the Genie spells, you get Thunderwave, Gust of Wind, Wind Wall, Greater Invisibility, and Seeming.
Air, Light, and Lightning.
If you go Ifriti, you get Burning Hands, Scorching Ray, Fireball, Fire Shield, and Flame Strike.
Flame and Radiant.
It makes sense.
Straight ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ifrit's a fire spirit. And then if you get Marid for water, or water as your element, you get Fog Cloud, Blur, Sleet Storm, Control Water, and Cone of Cold.
Water
Like
Ice.
Also at first level, you get Genie's Vessel. Your patron gives you a magical vessel and it grants you a little bit of Genie power. It's a tiny object and you can use it as your spellcasting focus for your Warlock spells. You decide what the object is, or you can determine what it is randomly by rolling on the Genie's Vessel table. Common ones are oil lamp urn, a ring, a bottle, a lantern of sorts, something small enough to be carried or worn.
Some sort of token that can contain
Yeah.
either spirit through enchantment or maybe a vessel. It seems to really flavor vessels, urns, lamps, things to hold other things. Maybe a Tupperware.
And when you get this at first level, it does give you a few extra
Vacuum
things.
sealed.
So you also get, while you are touching the vessel, you can use it in the following ways. You can use Bottled Respite, which as an action you can magically vanish and enter your vessel, which remains in the space you left. The interior of the vessel is an extra dimensional space in the shape of a 20-foot radius cylinder that's 20 feet high, and it resembles your vessel. The interior is appointed with cushions and low tables, and it's always at a comfortable temperature. While inside, you can hear the area around your vessel as if you were in the space of the vessel. You can remain inside of it up to a number of hours equal to twice your proficiency bonus. You exit the vessel early if you use a bonus action to leave, if you die, or if the vessel is destroyed. When you exit the vessel, you appear in an unoccupied space closest to it. Any objects left inside remain there until they're carried out, but if the vessel is destroyed, every object stored in there harmlessly appears in an unoccupied space close to the broken vessel. Once you enter the vessel...
Container.
Yep.
And then once you enter the vessel, you cannot enter it again until you finish a long rest. While touching it, you can get Genie's Wrath. Once during each of your turns, when you hit with an attack roll, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to your proficiency bonus. This damage is determined by your patron. Bludgeoning for Tao, Thunder for Genie, Fire for Ifriti, or Cold for Marid. The vessel's AC equals your spell save DC. Its hit points equal your Warlock level plus your proficiency bonus, and it is immune to poison and psychic damage. If the vessel is destroyed or you lose it, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to retrieve a replacement from your patron. The ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest. The previous vessel is destroyed if it still exists, and the vessel vanishes in a flare of elemental power when you die. If you lose it, it may not be worth it to summon a new one because all of your objects that were inside just are now not.
They just appear
Yeah.
in the space that...
Wherever it
Right.
came. But that's potentially a
Hilarious.
good way to, if someone stole it and pocketed it. Hey, guess who now has 20,000 gold spilling into the streets around them.
Well, it looks a little weird. It's like a weird, it's a strange baggage claim.
At 6th level, you get an elemental gift. You begin to take on characteristics of your patron's kind. You now have resistance to a damage type determined by your patron's kind: bludgeoning for Dao, thunder for Genie, fire for Ifrit, or cold for Marid. In addition, as a bonus action, you can give yourself a flying speed of 30 feet that lasts for 10 minutes, during which you can hover. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You can now fly.
For 10 minutes.
Which is not an insignificant amount of time.
Not in combat.
The more that we go through this, the more I'm saying it is a Genie apprentice. You are being trained to be a replacement, it seems. Learn how to live inside this vessel. Take on some of these characteristics. Fly a little bit.
The Lord does say that genies often enter into these contracts because they like to get back at humans and other species that normally bond genies to servitude.
It's a very much a Genie, like, man, no.
Yeah.
It's Genie's Uno reverse card.
This is a Jafar class, you know? He finally wishes to become a Genie, and oops.
10th level is where this class becomes insane. You get Sanctuary Vessel. When you enter your Genie's vessel via the bottled respite feature, you can now choose up to 5 willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, and the chosen creatures are drawn into the vessel with you. As a bonus action, you can eject any number of creatures from the vessel, and everyone is ejected if you leave or die, or if the vessel is destroyed. In addition, anyone, including you, who remains within the vessel for at least 10 minutes gains the benefit of finishing a short rest, and anyone can add your proficiency bonus to the number of hit points they regain if they spend any hit dice as a part of a short rest here.
That's pretty dope.
Off the gear for 10 minutes, we'll get a nice relaxation in, and then let's move.
The shortening of the short rest is really what does it for that one. And what looks like in checking some of the spell list, yeah, you're not getting a tiny hut as a warlock.
No.
Or anything like that. You're not getting, but that's pretty nice, and you get it shorter, so that's really cool. What's it top out at, Brady?
You get Limited Wish at 14th level.
So you get Wish and Limited Wish.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
At 14th level,
You better have both of them for Genie.
You entreat your patron to grant you a small wish. As an action, you get to speak your desire to your Genie vessel, requesting the effect of one spell that is 6th level or lower and has a casting time of 1 action. The spell can be from any class's spell list, and you don't need to meet the requirements in that spell, including costly components. The spell simply takes effect as part of an action. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish 1d4 long rests.
There. I mean, that's significant.
That's any spell 6th level or lower just happens.
Yeah, that's a lot that you can do.
Yeah, there are a variety of utility that any spell, and it's just like the Genie's like, yeah, I'll talk to my buds. I'll give it to you. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
The way I read it is, since your Genie's the one technically casting it, any concentration requirements would be null, and it would just happen the entire time.
There's no, it is someone else that is casting that spell. You are asking your patron to cast that spell for you. There's no spell slot. There is no concentration. Someone else is doing it. The only requirement is you gotta wait. You gotta wait 1d4 long rests.
This is a fun class.
What do you think? What do you think about it, Jake? Let's start with you.
I like it. As somebody, I feel like I'm here for like the cool factor. I don't get much into the technical, but I like the shenanigans of classes. This seems like a lot of fun to play. There's a lot you can do with it. There's a ton of just different stuff you can do within the class itself. I mean, you could play this character 3 or 4 times, and it'd be different every time. I mean, the fact that you get Wish at 9th level is, I mean, come on, we all know it's a broken spell.
You get 2 kinds.
You don't get it at 9th level. You get it when you
can get 9th level spells.
Right, that's what I meant.
Right. But the other thing is, like, at 14th level, around the time that you're going to get that, it's like getting 2 wishes. You can use your class feature for one of them, and it's the spell component of it that Wish can replicate any spell.
Right.
But then, if you got to go outside the bounds of cosmic time and space and change the world and the universe itself, you could use Wish proper.
Do you need the time travel to the creation of the 9 hells? You get 1 shot.
You gotta stop that. You gotta stop that shard of evil from dwelling and just drilling into the abyss and giving rise to Demogorgon and shit like that, this is your chance.
I very much like this class. It offers a lot.
Where's
You
it
know,
going, Jake?
Just for the fun factor, I'm going to give this an A. There's not a lot, you know, it doesn't seem to cater towards either party support or damage or anything like that. I guess it would be more, you know, party support, but it's more of just like a kind of do what the fuck you want and don't apologize for.
Ben, I gotta go to you
no.
next, man.
Fair enough. I honestly would give this, like, it is cool. On the cool factor, sure, I'm cool with giving it that. From a functional standpoint, I also have to give it that same A. And depending upon the use, I could see an argument for S, but I put it at A for certain reasons. I'll get to those in a minute. First off, you get a massive amount of versatility in what spells you want to cast, purely based on what kind of spirit you go with. Resistance to varying different kinds of damage, once again, depending on your spirit. Being a squishy and resistant to bludgeoning is kind of nice, not gonna lie.
Nice.
Also, you know, fire, thunder, water, or cold is all useful. Those things happen a lot.
If you're talking a session 0, figure out where your campaign's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot better for you with this one.
The big things that are the really two big things that, which is why I could see the argument for S depending on the use, are bottled respite combined with sanctuary. Getting the effects of a short rest in 10 minutes is absurd. On top of that, you can be within that bottle for a number of hours equal to twice your proficiency. If you need to gather information about an area that you snuck into, but you snuck into at the wrong time, no one's there yet, okay. Your proficiency bonus at later levels, you can be in there for 2, 3, 4, 5 plus hours. And your entire party can chill in there and get their short rest or be on their long rest. And then if you need to pop out early and shit hits the fan, everyone's ready to go. Or everyone leaves, you guys pop out, sneak back out. Guess who just got all the information they needed? Because they can still hear what's happening outside this bottle. It's just a tiny bottle in the middle of the somewhere in the room that you can hear what's
Just
going
thought of
on.
a stupid idea. Say you need to get into some king's throne room to find out some information. You pay a little peasant in the city to deliver this ornate gift to the
Exactly,
king.
and everyone's chilling
And
there.
everybody's in there.
An ornate gift.
Welcome to a tiny Trojan horse.
Do you need a
ornate-
safe
an
place to
ornate
stay
gift?
every night? Here you go.
Or,
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
or you're the last squad defending treasure, the treasury, the palace, or anything, and
You're
it's
just
like,
in the
oh,
treasure room.
Wait, we're in the treasure room. We're the last bastion of defense. They're gonna capture this anyway. How can we make them pay for it?
Let's everyone
the-
jump in here, and then when they're not ready, murder.
Get in the jar.
Do you know how much gold you can fit inside of this? It is a 20.
It's a 20 by 20 cube.
20 by
Yeah.
20.
No, it's
That's
a
lot.
cylinder. It's a 20
Oh,
foot
sorry,
radius
20 by
cylinder.
20 cylinder.
You can fit
Yeah,
a lot
20
of gold in there.
20
Yeah.
radius by 20.
You could
tall.
fit enough
That's
gold in
big.
here to destabilize an entire country's economy. And Limited Wish is awesome. Getting access to Wish is awesome. I don't think I really need to touch on that. But Sanctuary Vessel plus Bottle Respite, in and of itself, puts this as A. With everything else, Wish, Limited Wish, the other options that you get, I would give this an S tier. Flight,
Hey, man.
also.
Yeah, you get levitation and flight. I'll continue with it. I'll go ahead and give it the low S. I will go ahead and give it the low S because some of the things you get access to are outside of the Warlock spell list, which is great, but admittedly a little limited. But this is a way to get what I think is that layman's tiny hut kind of feel. This is a great way to fill a niche. And like I said, figure this out as session 0. If you are playing a Warlock, always ask for a session 0 because your shit's going to come online at level 1. You can't afford to choose the wrong thing at that. You can't
Interject just really quick about something
Yeah.
since we were on it. A 20 foot by 20 foot cylinder is 6,200 cubic feet and would hold 47,000 gallons.
Hold on, do a quick 6,200 divided by 3 or 9. I don't know. I want to know that in yards.
232.7 cubic yards.
That's a lot of fucking mulch.
That is, okay, I was like, why are you going to yards, dude?
We're gonna go ahead and give this a low S.
Moving
I
on.
think that's
Yeah.
fair. The great old one.
So, I talked about tentacles last week. I mean,
That's
I
the one
could
that doesn't
technically-
like them, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben, that was just
I
3
guess
days
I'm
ago.
fine, 3 days ago. I talked about tentacles about 3 days ago. I guess I'm gonna talk about tentacles again because man, it comes up a lot with the Warlock. The great old one. Think Cthulhu mythos. You know, ancient deity. There is Dune, Dendar,
There's a
Zargans.
lot
Those
of
kinda,
weird
like,
shit
old,
in the
yeah.
Outer Realms, folks.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it.
Old squid, giant squid people that know everything type of deal. Yeah, it's real fucked.
Great
But
old ones.
The expanded spell list that you get out of this. All right, first spell levels of 1, Dissonant Whisper, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Nice. Detect Thoughts, Phantasmal Force at 2.
Love
Clairvoyance
Phantasmal
and
Force.
Sending at 3. Dominate Beast, Everett's Black Tentacles again at 4th. And then
Love it,
Dominate Person and Telekinesis at 5th.
Those spells are not insignificant. That is
This is
a list and a half.
This is one of the best expanded spell lists we've seen, and it comes out of the player's handbook. That's
That's
weird.
It's
What
all
else?
over.
It's great. It is all over the place, but it makes
But
sense
it's always
if you think
useful.
about.
Yeah.
Makes sense if you think about the weird shit.
But at
What
first
else do you
level,
got?
as with all the other Warlock spellclass, you get access to your first feature with Awakened Mind. You can touch the minds of other creatures, telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You do not need to share a language with the creature for it to understand you, it just has to speak a language. You see someone 30 feet away, I'm gonna jump in your mind and fuck with you.
That's
Why not?
all right.
Hey,
The
what's up?
possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
That's
The
really fun.
possibilities are only limited by your
I
imagination.
don't see a
of the
limit
player.
on. Did any of you guys see a limit on how
No,
many
there's
times
no
you can
limit. You can
yeah.
just do it. You can just do it. There's no limit on it. You just do it. It's fun.
Yeah, you don't have to spend anything. It's just like
Right off the bat, as a 1 to 2 level dip, getting access to that is a free communication in between.
Yeah, it's
everybody, which
you
is kinda
translate.
nice.
You're
Or
the
at least one-way
translator.
communication.
I want to say that this feels a lot like, I don't know, some sort of mind flayer that has regained their human cognizance and
Yeah.
decides to work for the side of
You,
good.
you
That's
guys aren't thinking
really the
big enough
flavor.
here. You can
Oh.
be a Shadow King by driving the current ruler insane and just making them do everything you're speaking into their mind.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
King
you can
Rohan
worm
thing.
tongue
It's
it. Yeah,
it's
you can
worm tongue it,
tongue
yeah.
them. Continuing along.
What else do we have?
After you tongue the king's ear, you can go
Hey.
into Entropic Ward. You're welcome, everybody. At 6th level, you can magically ward yourself
Listening.
against attack
Listening.
and turn enemies' failed strikes into good luck. So when a creature makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on that roll. If the attack then misses you, your next attack has advantage.
Oh man.
Let me tell you, the most powerful force in the universe is the movement of order to chaos. And what we call that is entropy. And that is exactly what this does.
Yep.
This is not just
Um,
disadvantage, but that is advantage for you too. Go on.
And
Please
once a
You
go
short
only
on.
rest.
use it- Yeah, you can only use it once per short or long rest, but it comes back on a short rest. So in between fights, you can get it back. At 10th level, access the Thought Shield. Your thoughts cannot be read by telepathy unless you choose to allow them to be. You have resistance to psychic damage, and whenever a creature deals psychic damage to you, they also take the same amount of psychic damage.
That's pretty dope.
I like that.
The only thing I ever want on Thought Shield is the ability to, if you find out someone's trying to read your thoughts, just start spouting weird shit and
I
let
just
them read
assume
that.
it's like
You know,
assume
like-
it's like babbling that comes back to it.
Just
That's how I've
read
always
your
thought about
grocery
it.
list.
Pee pee
or-
poo poo, pee pee poo poo.
You have a voicemail set for when they try.
Yeah, straight up. And as soon as it goes, leave a message at the beep. Beep. Alert, the mailbox is full. Like, as you start talking, it's great.
Yeah, but the thing is, I want the beep to last like a whole minute, like the
Mhm.
entire time, and then for
Yep.
10 seconds at the end.
Super
Like,
high pitched. It's horrible.
Yeah. yeah,
Yeah.
this mailbox is full.
No,
Please try
it
again
hurts
later.
a little bit. You see that your start, yeah. And then your capstone.
Cap it
The
out,
capstone with this is you gain the ability to create a thrall. You can infect a humanoid's mind with alien magic. You use your action to touch an incapacitated humanoid. This creature is then charmed by you until a remove curse spell is cast on it.
Ooh.
The charmed condition is removed from it, or you use this feature again. You can communicate telepathically with the charmed creature as long as the two of you are in the same plane of existence. So you know how you wanted to tongue the king's ear there, Brady?
Here's how.
This
Yeah,
is it.
here's where you've kind of finished your plan on it, and then become the Shadow King.
Such social intrigue for that.
Yeah, there's a
That's
lot
class and a
of
half.
fun stuff. Eeny, meeny, miny, Brady, go.
I love this. That spell list, I know I mentioned it earlier. I've looked at a lot of spell lists recently, and this is top tier
B.
when it comes to just spells that you don't have to waste learning to have. Yeah, you don't get to like expand your known spells, but you know
Once
these
again, you do
automatically.
have to then pick these. These are just extra options for you when you choose your spells.
But even having these options can't be left out. The ability to pretty much drive people insane and just speak bullshit into their minds at first level, I love it. The imposed disadvantage, possible advantage for you, that's a great one and done per combat. Like, you need their next attack to miss so you can finish off whatever. There you go.
Finish the fight.
Thought Shield, while psychic damage doesn't come up a lot for...
when it does, you're glad it's there.
Exactly, because almost nothing else resists it. So
Let me
that's
tell you,
great.
as a bard, I love some psychic damage, folks. I love it.
And if you're going to go up against a bunch of mind flares and whatnot, making sure your mind can't be read. Very useful. The charming someone and instant communication. I like it. I like it a lot. It doesn't seem too powerful though, so I gotta give it a B to B plus.
Why don't we roll into Justin? So you were kicking in a bit there. Where are your
Oh,
thoughts
man.
at?
Oh, let me tell you, I dig this one. One of the things I've always appreciated, even though there are certain things I don't appreciate about H.P. Lovecraft himself, I do love the writing. I do love the lore. I do love the world building and stuff of that. I do love the fact that the incomprehensible is one of the most terrifying things for the human mind.
Great.
The unknown has always been our biggest fear. And I think this subclass taps into it. I love the way that they just really just delved into that Shadow over Innsmouth or Call of Cthulhu or Rats in the Walls kind of thing with the great old ones. You're talking to Dagon. There are canon stories in D&D that have been written from the great 80s that have included all of these great old ones, as they're called. This really encapsulates it. It's right on brand with the name. And I love the flavor of it too. Really love it. I do think that they were a little bit afraid of the Warlock early on in the player's handbook, and that this could be a little bit more powerful. I think could be a few things that do better. I think that create Thrall. Really, it's cool. It's cool as shit. But I really want that to have a little bit more. You know, I want maybe a not incapacitated humanoid. I want maybe 2 Thralls. I want them to have a little bit of a bonus for it. But the Entropic Ward is great. The spell list is great. This is still an A. This is still a mid-A to a high A, I think, any day of the week. And I think they really captured the flavor, both charismatically. If you want to play a weird mind flayer from the Spelljammer series that's come over to the other side, or if you want to play someone that's been touched by a mind flayer but has somehow resisted their power, this is great flavor. I think that's great, and the numbers stack up too. But they don't quite stack up to the power of those great old ones. Not even at 14th level do I think they really capture that strength. So I have to give it high A, mid A.
So we're at about a mid-A between the two of you, if I have that recalled correctly, because you were
That
low
sounds
A,
right, yeah.
correct, Brady?
No, I was mid B to high B.
You were okay. Sorry. So then A to B plus is where we're at. That's on me. So Jake, where you at?
I'm gonna go solid mid, by the way. Solid mid.
Mid A, mid B. Where we at?
I can't help but think of just walking, throwing the doors open on the High Council, walking to the center of the room, and crippling everybody in that room with your mom. I think this is cool. You were literally just there to disrupt and cause chaos, which, as you all know, I'm all about. You wall yourself off from anything that can harm you and just throw it right back out tenfold. Especially with the telepathy, and it's just, I like it. I think I'm going to give this one a high A. Just for, just for the shenanigans you could cause with it.
I think this is partially damage, this is partially crowd control, and this is partly utility. And I think for the stats you're going into and being able to do it all with charisma, this is really cool for that. Jake, I'm glad you pointed that out because I
That
couldn't
puts
think
it in
of
an
it.
A, solid A.
I would say with everything, that's a solid A. But
Tell us what you think in the comments.
what do you think about those? Let us know, and we will see you next time here on Intoxicated Intellect. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, hit the buttons, do all the things.
Tell all your friends.
Click, do the things.
Let them know.